The May Readathon, May the Force be, oh, it's May the Force read with you. But anyway, there's just so many books that I want to read. Of course, again, why do the dogs always make noise and my hair always isn't right? I just don't want to get mad at him, but he makes me so mad. Hi everyone, it's me, Jess. How's everyone doing? It's very spring-like here today. Getting excited for spring? I hope so. Everyone here is excited. I've got my balcony door open, and so wouldn't be surprised if we hear some street noise and some dog noise. I feel like I have to put that disclaimer at the beginning of every one of my videos. So I'm here to talk about my May TBR. I'm going to be doing a readathon for May. I'm just looking for the information here. Did I save it here? So I'm doing a readathon this May, which I talked about in my heavily viewed book haul. I think that's because I had put book depository in the title. But I'm going to be participating in the May the Force Be With You readathon, which is super fun. I'm going to put the link down below for the readathon itself, but I'll go through some of the details now. I'm not going to go through all of the details because that'll take a lot of time, and I tend to be actually a little bit long-winded anyway. So I'm participating in the May the Force Read With You readathon. It's a choose your own adventure to either the Jedi Order or the Sith Order. And so you choose a side and then each side. So the Jedi Order prompts I'll go through, but I'm participating in the Sith Order. So do I go through the Jedi Order prompts? You can read up to 5 books. After each of the prompts, you hit another level. So I'm going to do the Sith Order. The reason is just because I prefer the prompts in the Sith Order, or I have books that I want to read that fit better with the prompts in the Sith Order. The first level is Sith Apprentice. Second level, so if you read one book, you hit Sith Apprentice. If you hit another book, you hit Sith Master. If you hit another book, you hit Sith Lord. If you hit 4 books, you become a Sith Overlord. And then if you read 5 books, you become the Dark Lord of the Sith. And that is my goal, everybody, for this month. There are some abilities that you can get that have prompts associated with them. There are some weapons that you can get that have prompts associated with them. There are partners. So the abilities are the main prompts for either side, whether you're doing the Sith side, the dark side, or the Jedi side, the light side, and I'll get to those in just a minute. But then there are some neutral abilities that you can substitute for either side. So for example, on the dark side, there's a corruption prompt, which is to start a series, and I don't really read series. Honestly, I really don't. So I'm gonna substitute that prompt with a prompt from the neutral category of abilities so that I can get all the way up to the Dark Lord of the Sith if I read all 5 books. So it's a very fun readathon. May the Force Read With You readathon. I got to get that right. I'll get to those in just a minute, but I'm just going to talk about 2 other books that I'm planning to read for May. And I also, I guess it's my loss in a certain way, but I'm not going to really get into too many of the books for the Women's Prize before they make the announcement. I'm just going to probably be reading some of those books over the summer. I'm still waiting for my copy of Sorrow and Bliss to arrive. It's taking a while. I would read that right when I get it. So this is a hopefully somewhat flexible TBR. If that comes in the mail, then I'll tell you what I'll substitute it for. Now my phone is ringing. Hi. Okay, what's up? Well, what do you mean when you say transcendence? Yeah, I don't know. I try to be accurate. Okay, so the first book that I'm going to be reading, well, first book, I don't know. The first one that I want to talk about on the TBR is Freshwater by Akwaeke Emezi, because it was number 20 on the BookTube spin list that I created. And when Rick spun the wheel, 20 was the number that came up. So this, well, and I think 17 as well. So I have a Tana French book as well, but I think I'll save that one until a little bit later. I'm really excited to read this. It will also satisfy my goal. One of my goals was to read authors that I read in 2021, and I read The Death of Vivek Oji in 2021 and really enjoyed it. And so now I'm going to be reading Freshwater. Freshwater tells the story of a girl named Ada who's very troubled and I don't know if it's autobiographical, if it's about their life, or if it's or inspired by their life. But I think it's a coming of age story, and it's for someone who is merging different selves into their identity. So it's like a story about identity. So I'm really looking forward to that. Another goal that I realized that when I did my quarter crisis tag, that I realized I haven't really pursued at all, which I don't know, I think maybe it's just the books that I have, but I set as a goal for myself that I would read 2 French books this year, and I haven't read any French books this year. And I was very fortunate to find this very cute, very readable copy of Agatha Christie in French, Le Meurtre de Roger Akroyd. I love how it's French, Le Meurtre de, and then a very English name. But I don't know, I think this is in which series is this in? Is this in the Pierrot series? Anyway, I think this might be in the Poirot series. So I think this will be easy to tackle. I'm hoping. I do really want to satisfy that. And if I find this easy, then it won't be hard for me to pick up a more francophone, a more French authored, not translated from English book. So those 2 for sure. I say for sure, but I've said that before. Okay, so let's get into the prompts for the readathon. Dun, 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 dun. So for the abilities for the dark side, the first one is lightning. Read a book that you think will shock you. Okay, so I'm not easily shocked. I'm not a person who's easily shocked, but I do think that my policeman will be an engaging, not surprising necessarily, but what does the blurb on the front say from The Guardian? Dashing, a humane and evocative portrait. It's going to be exciting, right? It's about a relationship between a policeman and a man and the policeman's wife. Yeah. I know that it's inspired by the real life story of E.M. Forrester's relationship with a policeman and his wife. And I think it's supposed to be a lovely story. I don't think it's supposed to be shocking, but it's a little shocking, I suppose. It was the only thing I could come up with really from my TBR, and I do really want to read it. So, and it's also soon to be a motion picture. Although I don't know when that's coming out. Maybe it's already out. So I'm going to read that for a book that you think will shock you. Not because I find the topic that shocking, but because in the world, this would be potentially a shocking topic. The second prompt for the dark side is Seduction, a book with a pretty cover. I'm definitely going to read The Mercies by Kiran, Millwood, Hargrave. This was on a lot of people's favorites from 2021. It's a story about an island. Is it Irish? It's set in winter 1617. Oh, Norwegian. A Norwegian island where the men are all fishermen and they're all out fishing and a storm comes up and they all perish and then the women are left to fend for themselves. And the cover is indeed very seductive, don't you think? I think so. Yes. So that'll be 2. And if I get those 2 read, or those 4 read, because I have other goals, then I'll be a Sith Master, and I'll be pretty happy with that if that happens. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue to push myself. And this I really do want to read as well, for a couple of different reasons. It's the book club pick I try to follow along with Books and Lala's book club. I think it's called the Literary Dead Book Club. This was also recommended by Kate File, and it's also going to be I kind of got them mixed up in one of my TBRs. I was talking about reading Asian authors, but actually the Asian Readathon is also taking place in May, so I'm trying to read some Asian authors. I already started my year abroad, so this was on my TBR for April, and it's quite a chunker. I started it. I'm guessing I'll probably read most of it in May. I've gotten 87 pages in, so I'm guessing I'll read most of it in May. I already talked about it, so I won't talk about it again. So I always have some books that kind of get carried over, so that'll get carried over. But for the prompt force fear, you're supposed to pick a horror thriller book. So I'm going to read Confessions, Kanae Minato. I hope I'm saying the name correctly. I guess this is a bit of a classic. It's about a woman, a teacher, and I think it's about bullying. Yeah, there's like a revenge plot. It has to do with the students. The main character is a teacher. It says Lord of the Flies for the Modern World. That sounds intense. I think she's Japanese. Yeah, so this is a Japanese. I just finished reading Bullet Train, which is another Japanese book. So this will be a Japanese thriller. I'll end up being a Sith Lord. Now, in order for me to become a Sith Overlord, I would have to read a book that satisfies the prompt for corruption, which is to start a series, and I don't read series. So I've decided I'm going to read based on a prompt from the neutral prompts. And there were a couple that I could have chosen from, like I could have doubled up, but I decided I'm not going to double up. Okay, so one of the prompts is doppelganger, to read a book title with 2 words. I was going to go for one of Claire Fuller's books. I've been kind of desperately wanting to read another Claire Fuller, and both of her books have 2 words in the title, Swimming Lessons and Bitter Orange. But I don't know which one to pick. You can vote in the comments below if I should read Swimming Lessons or Bitter Orange, and I'm also going to do a little Instagram poll and see which one I end up reading. They both look really interesting. Bitter Orange is the one where they hear through the floorboards, and Swimming Lessons is the one where I think they find letters from like 10 years. She finds letters from 10 years previous about her parents or something. So they both sound really good. Which one do you think I should read? So then I will have become, what will I be at that point? Yes, I will be a Sith Overlord if I make it that far. If I complete all of the prompts, the last prompt is mind control. Pets or people choose the book for you. So a little earlier, before I sat down to film this video, I got my little puppy Nola to choose between 3 different books. It was pretty fun. It wasn't what I expected. He didn't choose. He chose based on treats. He didn't choose what I expected. The books that we were choosing between are all books by Asian authors, because again, I wanted to read some more books for the Asian Readathon, or the Asian month of reading in May. One of them I've already talked about, Earthlings by Sayaka Murata. I read Convenience Store Women last year, so this again would satisfy my goal for reading authors that I read in 2021 that I liked. I've heard this book is pretty weird. The Sympathizer, which has been on my radar for a little while, on my TBR for a little while. It's a Vietnamese. The story is a winner. He's the winner of the Pulitzer Prize for fiction, and this particular book is about a spy. While building a new life with other Vietnamese refugees in Los Angeles, he is secretly reporting back to his communist superiors in Vietnam. This sounds amazing. I hope the dog picks this one. Probably won't. And then the last one is one that I picked up from the library. I have been going to the library and raiding it from time to time. And this is by Sunjeev Sahota, China Room. I heard really good things about this book from last year. The story, I think it's a story, Mehar, a young bride in rural Punjab, is trying to discover the identity of her new husband. That's enough for me to read. Like, that is a good opening blurb sentence. I think that will be potentially really interesting. And I think he's American, but he's written 2 books. Okay, that's really noisy. That's making too much noise. So he's a British novelist, but he is writing about Punjab, rural Punjab. So I think it qualifies. Yeah, so let's cut to Nola's choice. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, Nola, are you ready? We're gonna film something, okay? Look, see the books on the ground here? We've got... Nola, what did you choose? See the books on the ground here, Nola? We've got The Sympathizer, we've got China Room, and we've got Earthlings. Now, are you gonna choose my book for me? Which one do you choose? Do you choose one yet? This is going to be really tricky. He's going to just go for the first treat. I don't know how to do this in a way that makes sense. Okay, let's put them really close together. Come. Okay. Wait. Okay, go. Go. You can choose a book. Go get a treat. Go get a treat. He chose the China Room. China Room it is. And this is from the library too. All right, cool. China Room. So that was unexpected. That's it. That's my TBR. 1, You guys are gonna vote, right? That's my TBR. 1, 2, 3. Gotta finish my year abroad. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 books. That's pretty good. That's my average usually, so. Nothing from the women's prize list, but I think I'll focus on the women's prize list in June. I know that the announcement is June 15th, but I think I'll just focus on it then. So, because I'm going to be traveling to the UK at the beginning of June, and I'm going to put everything on my e-reader. Does that sound like a good idea? I think so. Thank you so much for being here today and for watching my video and for spending this time with me. And I hope you all have a good reading month. Bye for now. Bye. Oh, now they're barking outside. Perfect. Oh wait, sorry, my bad. May the force. See how it says on the front, soon to be a major motion picture. Oh, the marketing. Who's a good boy? Yes, I love you. Who's a good boy?